Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Classic Kiss, presented by the Soundcheck. My name is Garrett, and as always, I have my two co-hosts with me, Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
And Bo.
How's it going, everyone?
Awesome. Just want to say we're trying to get back on schedule. A lot of stuff has happened in the last month and a half, and we've just been, unfortunately, not had enough time to record and stuff recently and edit. But I know I mentioned this like a couple of episodes ago where I was like, hey, we're going to, be back on track. And, as always, life happens. So, but from here on out, we really should be good to go for the foreseeable future. So thanks for hanging in there with us. I know we haven't had, some consistent episodes for you guys. But yeah, this one should be a relatively short one, and I know we say that all the time, but it really is probably going to be a short one this week because there's just not much information to go off of. I know Tyler brought some to the table that includes some info on the recording of the album and whatnot, but it's kind of like a live one. I know it's called just a live, but a live one, when we covered that, we didn't really go too in depth on the songs and everything like that because we had already heard them.
Right. And of course, this one having less of a necessarily impact, than the first one did. We just don't have as much stories to talk about.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Which there's still some, but it's just not nearly to the magnitude of the first one.
Exactly. And, yeah, basically that. And what did we do? Did we do because I can't even remember. I should have looked at it before we hopped on air, but we didn't do a 3-in-1. I think we did a 3-in-1, but it was modified, like 3 songs we thought benefited.
Right.
And did we do a discard at all, or was it?
I want to say we did, because I think we picked Nothing to Lose.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Where we were just kind of like, it doesn't change enough that I feel like I needed this version of it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that again. And then we'll still obviously do the artwork, and we'll still do the overall rating, the certified ratings, or whatever the fuck I call it. So, yeah, I don't really know where this episode is going to take us and what road we're going to go down, but like I said, it should be a shorter one compared to especially compared to Rock and Roll Over, because Jesus, that episode was 2 hours long.
Yeah, we got a little long in the tooth on that one, but
and then Love Gun was about an hour and a half, so hour and a half to hour and 40 or something. So this one won't be as long as those. It'll still probably be a little bit, but we're gonna try and keep it simple and short today. I said keep it simple and short. Kiss. Ha! All right. So, anyways, we'll see you next week.
That was our one joke for the week.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, fucking Bo's over there just plotting. That's what happens when me and Tyler are talking for 45 minutes to an hour. Bo's just thinking of puns. He's waiting for him.
Yeah, he's waiting for his chance to just slip something in that's going to make me cackle and sound stupid.
Oh, shit. Alrighty. So, yeah, let's get right into it. We're covering Alive 2 today, guys. And I don't know. I think for some reason, I always used to like this. I still like it, but I feel like I overstated how much I liked it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I going back and listening to it, I'm just like, wow, like, man, it doesn't have the same energy as, it has a lot of energy, but it just doesn't have the same kick or like punch that the first live album does.
Right. Yeah, no, and as a kid, I think I agree. I used to love this album, and like the first one, I was just kind of like, it's good, but whatever. I almost feel like I've entirely flip-flopped now, where I just, listening back to this one, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Bo?
I didn't really like this album to begin with, so.
Yeah. Well, we know Bo's stance, so
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I don't like it. I just definitely, I now that I think about it, this is probably one of the least listened to albums from them, like live at least. Because
Yeah, if I'm being honest, anytime I go back to this album, it's for the studio song,
right?
Because 4 of the 5 I really freaking love.
Yeah. Oh boy,
those 4, I really don't know why. They're 4 of my favorite Kiss songs.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like, if you made me pick a top 10, I don't know that any of them make it in there.
Right.
Maybe one of them does, but like, I really like 4 of those 5 songs.
Yeah. Damn. Well, without giving too much away, we'll definitely get to those pretty soon. But I just want to basically kind of to just run off a bunch of these facts or statements, I guess you could say, about this album. So Alive 2 was released on October 14th, 1977 by Casablanca Records, as always, pretty much. It contained live performances of music from Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun that were recorded mostly during the band's August 26th through 28th shows at the Forum in LA back in 1977 on their Love Gun tour. Also includes studio tracks on side 4, which were recorded September 13th through 16th, 1977. So basically the same year, just almost a couple weeks later, pretty much.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's 5 studio tracks.
Yeah, there's
right?
5 studio tracks, and they did it because they realized that as they kept playing shows, they didn't have enough new material that wasn't on their first 3 records, basically covered on the first Alive,
right,
to fill out a live album.
Yeah,
because they still had a bunch of those songs. I mean, of course, Rock and Roll All Night, Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Yeah,
Black Diamond, that were still staples in their live show.
Exactly.
So they basically had to fabricate a live album.
Right. Which is weird because when you think about it, this is a 20 song album, and I want to say Alive 1 was only a 16 song album. And so
was it?
Yeah, it's only 16 or 17. Granted, you can make the argument that a lot of those songs on the first album were very were a little bit longer in nature, like, I mean, fuck, 100,000 Years is like a 12-minute song.
Yeah, they stretched that to 12 minutes as opposed to the drum solo on this album, including the song it's in, is only like 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's understandable why they added some tracks just to fill out that runtime, but yeah, I mean, not really much to talk about on that side. Well, actually, there is a little bit, which we literally just found this out right before we started recording. And it's the fact that it says the origins of Alive 2 go back to early, I can't even speak. Go back to early 1977, when Bill Aucoin actually suggested that Kramer record a live album during the evening show at Budokan Hall in Tokyo, Japan on April 2nd, 1977. If you're listening, I'm sure many of you know that Budokan Hall is a legendary, concert venue and or venue that many artists and bands have gone to and put on, marquee shows. And so obviously, Bill really did want to capture something in such a legendary, venue. And the plan was to release a live album to give Kiss like some much deserved time off before recording the album that would become Love Gun later that autumn. And when they eventually finished the recording of that Budokan show, they weren't really pleased with it. And so that's when they were like, fuck it, we're just going to go ahead and record Love Gun, and then we're going to try again, for Alive 2. And that's really interesting because if you can go on YouTube and find the concert of them performing at Budokan, and it's called like The Lost Alive or something like that, Lost Alive 2, which is basically like Alive 2 before Love Gun came out. So it has songs like, I can't even think, Take Me on there, a couple different songs, more songs from like their Rock and Roll Over and Destroyer albums. And it's really interesting because I think, we talked about the I Was Made for Loving You single that was just released,
from the Off the Soundboard one from Tokyo.
Exactly. Yeah. From Off the Soundboard in Tokyo or whatever, the new series that Kiss is doing. We talked about that last episode, and we were just talking that we'd really like to hear, their show from Budokan. And then you kind of did some research and you found like an interview with Eddie Kramer, right?
Yeah. And it's in Behind the Mask, because it was one of the biggest sources that I had for stuff from this album, almost that episode, where, he mentions we did record stuff from the Budokan shows.
Right.
And we just didn't like the way almost any of it turned out. So it just got pitched.
Really?
Which, of course, I think leads into the Lost Alive stuff, where that's probably what that was.
Uh-huh.
And then a couple of the songs on this record, of course, come from those recordings.
Yeah.
It's only 2 of them, right? You said it was... not
Hard Luck Woman. I want to say Beth and...
I Want You, right?
Yes, Beth and I Want You. So yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit. And we were talking like it'd be really cool, for them to... I mean, it would not surprise me if they came out with the Budokan show, especially now that we know they do have quality recordings of it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like I would be super excited for that, because I've said, I really want like a more raw, like I don't even know if that's the right way to put it, but just something that's a little bit more true to their sound, because I feel like Alive 2, you can definitely tell a lot of the songs and a lot of the vocals are very produced or overdubbed. I can tell the vocals are very overdubbed just from the way that Paul sings and like the reverb that's on his voice and stuff like that. It's just like too clean sometimes in some spaces.
Right.
And so, yeah, I would really like to have like something that I can listen to either on Spotify or maybe vinyl from that show, So it'd be really cool if they chose that show for one of their next releases off that little series that they're doing with the Off the Soundboard. But it's really cool because I never knew that. Like we just talked about it before we went on air of how that's what Lost Alive 2 is basically them at Budokan Hall. And it's really interesting that they were thinking of recording Love Gun later that autumn, but obviously they bumped it up because they weren't satisfied.
Right.
So after Love Gun was released, they decided to go on tour with the Love Gun tour, and then they recorded these, like I said, during the shows at the Forum between August 26th and 28th, and then they did the studio stuff in September, the middle of September.
Right. And it kind of makes me wonder too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
It kind of goes against the narrative they've always told about Alive 2 of, we did the first 3 and then a live album. So it only made sense to do a live album after our second group of 3.
Yeah, right.
But if they did the shows at Budokan with the intention of it being a live album,
right,
that doesn't work. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's another thing is it's like they did like, it's so weird to me that they did tours for their live albums. So like they released like their live album and then they would do a tour for it. Like they did it with a live, I'm pretty sure. And it's like, they talk about, oh, we needed time off, or like they wanted to give the band some much needed time off, which they definitely needed it. They've been grinding the fuck out of their, out of themselves for the last 4 years trying to make it. And now they've finally made it, but they're still constantly touring, constantly making music. I mean, Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun both came out in 77, in the first 6 months of 77.
76.
Or sorry. Rock and Roll Over was the latter end of sorry.
Yeah, because it was November.
Definitely fucked that up. Yes, definitely it was November of 76. But I mean, still, Destroyer was what, March, I think it was, of 76.
It was early 76.
Yeah, and so it's like, they're still at this rate doing 2 albums a year pretty much. And it's like these dudes needed time off. And I just feel like if you record Love Gun, do a tour, record that, and then they, finish up doing a little bit of overdubs for Alive 2, do a live 2 and then just do nothing, which they may have done that actually, but
I think for this one they did, because after this they went into production for Phantom and the solo albums.
Okay, yes, you're right. So it is good that they eventually got a little bit of time off, but they're still doing fucking shit like Phantom of the or Kiss Me's Phantom of the Park. Like, the fuck, just give them time off.
Right.
But that's just Gene, trying to be a fucking movie producer when he's not a movie producer.
God, I wish I could remember what movie it was he went off and did where he's actually like the main villain of the movie.
Oh, God.
But,
yeah, we'll have to
we'll get to that when we get through into the 80s, because
I don't know if
Paul got kind of pissed about that.
I don't know if we'll do a full-on like review and episode on it, but we'll have to talk about it a little bit. You know? Another thing about this album is once again it reaches or received critical acclaim from fans and critics alike. It also reached number 7 on Billboard 200 in the US, I believe. Double check that. Yep, US Billboard Pop Albums 7th. It reached 17 in Australia, 5 in Canada, 10 in Japan, 13 in New Zealand, 28 in Sweden, and the UK 60. So definitely still a very American dominated market, I guess you could say, for Kiss. But I don't know, man, this album, the energy, I feel like is just so good in this album. You know what I mean? Like, overall, like every song they do in this album is really fast paced, up tempo. You know what I mean? As opposed to the first Alive, where it's like, kind of like more, not laid back. It's like the energy's still there, but like it's a little bit more groovy, a little bit more swingy, and the energy, it's just like it's got a little bit of a swagger to it. You know what I mean? Whereas this is very like upbeat, straight in your face, like hard rock. But I feel like the songs also lend to that a lot. Because they are, Peter and Ace are now bona fide coke addicts. So just kidding. I mean, they pretty much are, but it's just very interesting, the differences between this album and their first live album. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to say? That I know you have some stuff. Ty, and I will say real quick that I didn't say Eddie Kramer comes back to produce this. Obviously, he produced Alive. He also did Rock and Roll Over.
And Love Gun, didn't he?
Yeah. Was it a Love Gun?
I thought so, yeah.
A Love Gun. God damn it. I can't even speak.
Yeah, because I thought he did Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, this, and then Ace's solo album. So he had 4 albums associated with the band over a very short period of time.
Yes, he did. Yep. I forgot about that. Yep. I mean, it's been forever since we recorded the Love Gun episode, and fuck. I mean, it's technically going to be last week for the listeners, but
right.
So yeah, I mean, wow. So this is his 3rd album. Eddie has done a lot of stuff with Kiss, and that's good to see. Which I know we've covered that before, but yeah. So Eddie is producer. Corky Stasiak back is engineer, which he helped them on both of the last records, I think, or he actually helped them on Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun, I think.
That sounds right, because I know we've brought him up a lot recently, so I can't remember if it was Love Gun, but it'd make a lot of sense.
Here, Corky Stasiak is engineer, so there we go.
Damn, solid.
And then Neil Dorsman as the mixer of this album, which I thought was pretty cool that they decided to kind of show him some love. Granted, this is just on the internet, so it's not like, I don't know if he's actually mentioned anywhere in the album credits.
Right.
But, shout out to all the mixers that never get credit. So anyways, go ahead, Ty, because I know you have some decent information on this.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm going to start off with 2 pieces that kind of go hand in hand. First, like I said, I use Behind the Mask a lot. I only really have one tidbit from Paul's book, and that's going to get knocked out with this first bit. But in Behind the Mask, Gene says that Hard Luck Woman and Tomorrow and Tonight were recorded at Soundcheck.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, they are entirely almost not even live songs at that point. Yeah. And while they were doing that Soundcheck is actually when they shot the back cover for the record, because Paul mentions that in his book, where all the effects in that back picture, all of the effects that they would have going on during their show are shot off at the same time to create this big theatrical picture for the back cover of the album. And so that was done at the San Diego Sports Arena during sound check. And I think they're up on the hydraulic lifts, and Peter's drum riser is up all the way. So it's got the cats out and everything. And so they just wanted to make this big, like, explosive picture for the back cover, since especially going into it, I think they kind of had already designs for the album cover and knew that they were kind of using some recycled photos for it. One that I thought was weird was, I guess Eddie Kramer claims that Anton Fig played some of the drums on the studio songs for this record, which seems weird, especially because he says he can't remember which ones they were if he did. But that almost seems weird because Ace didn't meet Anton until he was auditioning him for his solo album.
Really?
Which, I mean, granted, of course, based on other things we know, Ace wasn't coherent for a lot of this,
especially in the mid to late 70s.
Yeah, but I don't know, that one just kind of struck me as weird, you know what I mean? I found one that I did think was funny.
Is this what you were talking about the other day?
Oh, I'm getting to that in a sec. I'm leaving that one for last. Okay, so pretty much everyone acknowledges that other than Rocket Ride, Ace didn't do any of the guitar work on the studio songs. By pretty much everyone, I mean Gene, Paul, Bill Aucoin, and Ace. So basically everyone.
Right.
Because even Ace claims, like, I was too fucked up for that. Peter claims Ace had recently been in an accident and hurt his hand, and that's why he wasn't included, and Ace not being included in that apparently pissed Peter off.
Really?
It's in Behind the Mask.
Yeah.
If you go into the Alive 2 area of that book, you can find that quote.
Really?
And it's directly following quotes from all of the other guys, because I'm pretty sure Ace's quote on it is just, I was off in the ether, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, he even acknowledges I was fucked up.
Right.
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So all right, this is where I pre-warned both of you that this was going to get a little wrong, and I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, especially having lost someone very recently myself.
Right. Just to preface this, we also this is covering the studio tracks, right?
Yes,
the studio tracks on this album.
Yeah. So Bob Kulick, who originally auditioned for the band and was beat out by Ace for the position as lead guitar, he maintained a friendship with Gene and Paul, at least. Of course, based on things he said, he's very salty about it. So, I mean, I'm sure he didn't have a relationship with Ace.
Yeah.
Bob unfortunately passed away. Was it the beginning of this year or the end of last year?
I want to say it was the end of last year. It could have been sometime middle last year. I can't remember. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed away actually May 28th of 2020.
Wow. All right. I didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob, of course, claims that he was the better guitar player, and that the guys picked Ace because he fit the image of the band better. Take what you want from that.
No,
it doesn't seem accurate. Just whatever.
There's a reason why Ace Frehley is one of the most famous guitar players of all time, and Bob Kulick is not. And I'm not trying to like be rude about that, but that's just a fact. Like, it's not because Bob was better than Ace and that Ace just looked better than him. No, like, Ace was better than him. Yeah. Like, Ace has a distinct sound. Like, doesn't matter how technically proficient you are and what you can do, if you're good at music theory or if you're, it's like, as long as you have a distinct sound that people can be like, I like that sound, that's what people are going to gravitate to.
Exactly. And especially considering Ace has a apparently pretty good relationship with Bruce, Bob's brother.
Yeah, him and Ace are actually pretty tight from what I've heard.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder how much of Bob's issue really is just jealousy. Especially,
beat out. Because practically Bob was like chosen basically to be in the band, and then Ace just randomly shows up and The rest is history, as they say.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I auditioned for a band, almost got picked, and then found out that band went on to become one of the biggest success stories in music, I'd probably be fucking pissed too.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame him for it. Maybe don't say some of the things you said, though.
It's so weird to me that it's like, why would you be mad at Ace? Be mad at Gene and Paul.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's best friends with Gene and Paul. So that just goes to show that he's just jealous that the band blew up without him and he wants to be part of that band. You know?
Yeah, he's just salty.
I don't know. I guess I shouldn't talk too much about it because I don't know him and I don't know the actual situation, but and
that's why
he is, deceased. So
that's part of why I'm trying to say, like, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
I do have, it's not the next point about this that I'm going to make, but there is a point about this that I'm sorry, even with him being deceased, it's obnoxious. It's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned on an earlier episode that Bob claims that he did a lot of the guitar work on Rock and Roll Over, which basically everyone else says that's not fucking true.
I mean, listen to the solos. You can tell that most of them are Ace.
Yeah.
Especially Dr. Love.
Oh, yeah. And especially based on some of the things that Bob says about Ace, hearing the stuff that he plays live on Alive 2 really makes you wonder, is he just speaking out his ass?
Yeah.
So basically, like I said, he claims that whenever Ace couldn't deliver or was too high or whatever, Gene and Paul would call him. And I wish I was joking. He literally says they viewed me as their savior. And he claims that he played like himself whenever he would come in and do studio stuff for him.
Yeah.
Which he immediately contradicts in the next fucking paragraph. Which before I even read that paragraph, I put the book down and made this note myself.
Mm-hmm.
I watched an interview that he did with Eddie Trunk. By watch, I mean, it's a YouTube video that's just a picture of Bob in the cover of Alive 2, because it's from Eddie Trunk's radio show.
Right.
Where Bob admits that Gene and Paul would stop him and say, no, don't, like, just an example. I'm not trying to throw out an actual thing to happen. Don't play that E. Ace wouldn't play that E.
Right.
And, they would stop him and give him advice on how to sound more like Ace.
Ace, yeah.
That being said, I'm literally going to pull up the picture because I took a picture of this paragraph just to be able to show you guys. I'm going to read it verbatim so that you realize how obnoxious this is.
Right.
And
can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned it when I warned you guys. I'm just going to give the audience a heads up too. When I mentioned in the Rock and Roll Over episode that Paul's book gets a little hard to read because of how much he kind of mudslings at Ace and Peter, and one of those examples being the Rock and Roll Over drums, where he says if you put monkeys in a room long enough, they'll eventually bang out a good song.
Yeah.
Basically trying to say Peter's dog shit.
Right.
This really kind of makes that look saintly.
Really?
And I wish that was a joke. Immediate paragraph after saying I played like myself. I'm not joking. I will zoom in the picture so that you can see that is the last line of the previous paragraph. Bob says, I knew that they were enthusiastic about my playing, even though there were times when I'd play one note and Gene would say, stop. I'd say, what'd you stop the tape for? Oh, I didn't like that note. But I'd say, but you didn't know where I was going. And he'd say, no, but that's not Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd play a solo, which Ace could never play, even if he got somebody's brain transplanted in a new set of fingers, and he'd think it'd sound just like him. You can't play that because Ace would never play that one note, but that's part of what being a musician is. That's not right for you. How about this? But in the end, I always really liked whatever it was that we wound up with. Even if it wasn't what I intentionally came up with, or parts we left out or modified or parts we mixed down. You gotta come at the dude like that?
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't play my shit if he had a brain transplant and new fingers.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's shitty.
It's
just like my cock is bigger than yours.
Yeah, he's literally trying to play the cock game.
Yeah.
Dude,
it sounds like high school fucking drama.
Literally.
That's literally what it sounds like. And the fact that Gene stuck up for Ace was like, he wouldn't play that. What are you doing?
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing, is it's just like, that just goes to show that it was personal between him and Ace, or at least from his point of view towards Ace. It's like, no reason to like go at him like that. And it's like, yeah, maybe he couldn't play that shit like you did, but that's the thing. no two guitar players are the same, no matter how much Tommy tries to be Ace.
Yeah.
Okay. I've said that like 3 times now. I'm just making it a running joke.
No, I enjoy
love
it too.
Tommy. I love Tommy, but I just like making that joke.
He's not Ace. But I mean, I'd love to hear Bob try to play Rocket Ride. I'm sorry, he's not doing it.
Exactly. So it's like, why? I don't understand why people have to like are so fixated on like, yeah, well, they can't play it like me. And I'm like, yeah, and guess what?
You can't play it like him.
You can't play it like him. It's like, congrats, you have your own distinct sound, but guess what? Your distinct sound is not the Kiss sound. Ace's is. Like,
right.
I don't know. And once again, I don't want to come off as like being disrespectful to him and stuff, because I mean, just then it's like, just because he is deceased now doesn't mean that you can't talk about this issue or that and stuff. But, you know, and from what I've heard, that him and Ace finally made amends, you know.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, later on, because I think Ace, like when Bob passed away, Ace put a post out there and had talked about like how him and Bob had kind of grown a little bit closer over the last couple of years of his life, and that he really, like, he was saddened by it, and that he was glad that him and Bob could like kind of see eye to eye a little bit or something. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it indicated that they had a better relationship before he passed, you know, than they had way back in the 70s and 80s and 90s and whatnot.
Right. Well, at least there's that. But like, God damn, dude, don't. Yeah.
It's just, it literally, like we said, it's the whole, oh, my dick's bigger than yours fucking game. It's just it's so childish and so unnecessary, you know?
Especially when I don't think I've ever heard Ace say one bad word about Bob.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I'm sure he probably has.
Probably.
But
at least he was probably smart enough not to say it in front of a goddamn tape recorder.
Yeah, exactly. Which, who knows? Maybe there's like an interview, like a phone. I'm sure he's probably.
Oh, there very well could be. But
I'm sure he's probably said something like on Eddie Trunk's show or something. But like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, that has always irritated me, of people coming in and trying to be like, oh, well, I can play better than Ace. I can do this. I can do that. And it's like, okay, if you can play better than Ace and do this and do that, then go do a different fucking band, which, you know, I mean, it actually says here he worked with, you know, like Kiss, Alice Cooper, Lou Reed, Meatloaf, and Michael Bolton. So, I mean, I'm glad that he's had success in other areas, but it's like, you know, if you're going to play for Kiss, especially at this time period, people want to hear Ace.
Right.
They're the biggest band in the world. Ace is at his most popular. Like, it's just, you're going to have to sound like Ace. And if you can't fucking take that, then sorry. You know?
Oh, and I'm only trying to poke fun. I don't want people to think I'm being serious. But really, you're going to claim Lou Reed's one of your biggest success stories? You know what fucking happened when Metallica played with Lou Reed? People shit on them.
See, I am the table. That's from the Lou Reed sessions, right?
Yeah, that's from what I thought.
I love that he goes from Kiss and Alice Cooper to Michael Bolton.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Paul helped him land some work with Donna Summer at one point too, and I'm just like, he has the weirdest back catalog of work. Yeah,
which I mean, kudos to him, because it shows that he's a very versatile player. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want people to think I also think Bob's a bad player. He's not. I mean, he's plain and simple. He's not.
Exactly.
It just, you don't have to be a fucking asshole, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's definitely, it's kind of sad to hear like how much shit was thrown, not even just between the actual band members, but people coming in, you know, to play with them, which granted, most of them were pretty chill, like Dick Wagner and stuff. And then obviously Anton Fig, and then in later years, Eric Carr and stuff, they've all been pretty respectful and stuff, but
rest in peace, Eric Carr.
Yes. It just, I don't know. It's just childish. And it just goes to show how like egotistical people are in the music industry, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you actually read that verbatim, because like, it just goes to show, it's like, man, there was a lot of bad blood between Ace and some people, and it's just sad.
Even though it feels like it's almost completely one-sided.
Yeah.
That's the weird
part.
Like,
don't get me wrong, like Ace definitely has, like, you know, poked the bear with a stick a little bit on some of these like beefs, but it's like for the most part, he's literally just a guy who's always like cracking jokes and laughing and having fun.
Yeah. And
so
I mean,
like if I feel like sometimes he cracks a joke that kind of maybe takes it too far and somebody gets upset about it,
Probably, which I mean, oh, well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure he's poked the bear a little bit. Especially just how he is. But with some of the like Paul and Gene stuff, I'm sure he probably did.
Yeah, exactly.
But I almost just wonder if, because like I said, I haven't ever heard him say anything bad about Bob. Not that he never did. I almost wonder if he just took it and went, yeah, your dick's bigger, my bank account's bigger.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, oh well. I mean, is that pretty much it on stories?
Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, like I said, we really don't have much. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into the album artwork. We will be right back. All right, and we are back with the album artwork breakdown, guys. And so there's really not much to break down here. This is probably, in my opinion, the first miss compared to, like, I don't think this would be bad if their previous, 7-ish, if their previous 7 album artworks weren't so fucking good. You know what I mean? Especially the run of Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun.
Yeah.
It's just, it literally just says Kiss Alive 2, and then it has pictures of them. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll go ahead and turn the mic over to you.
It's a very basic cover. That's literally all it is. It's just a basic cover.
I think one of the only things that helps the cover is the fact that the picture of Gene is him spitting blood.
Yeah.
So it helps give it a little bit of like something to grab your attention. But other than that, I mean, like, Peter just looks like he's stoned.
Right. Peter looks like he's stoned.
Which, I mean, fuck, he very well might have been.
Yeah.
But
Paul, like, there's like a glare.
Yeah, it's got like a lens flare on it. And I think it was meant to give him sort of the like
Star Child type thing. Or like
he looks like he has an afro.
Yeah, he kind of does.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know if like they were they wouldn't have been rushed on time with this, but I don't know. It's I like the Kiss logo. I like the colors of it. That's a redeeming quality of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I literally don't have anything else to say about it.
Nope.
There's nothing to say about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give mine. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10.
All right. I didn't think it was going to be that low, but fair.
Yeah.
I'm not too far behind you. I think I'm going to give it a 4. It's just like, I don't think it's awful, but like, it's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm. But what about you, Bo?
I'm giving it a 2.
Jesus.
Okay. All right.
Wow. All right.
I don't like this album cover at all.
It's like, just boring.
Because there's a picture of them live right there.
This
that
one?
one.
Cover. Yeah, that's the back cover.
Of
if they would have switched that?
Yeah, I think that would have been a lot cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would have kept that same theme from the first Alive album of them playing live.
I'm changing it. I'm giving it a 1 now because now that I know that that's the back cover, that's fucking bullshit right now.
And so that's what I was talking about that they did at the San Diego Sports Arena, where they shot off all the effects they would use on stage at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And
how the fuck did they not burn that bitch down? I feel like
that's a good fucking
doing
question.
All of that shit at once.
Well, and especially here because it looks like some of the flames are getting up to the lights.
Yeah. Jesus. It looks badass though.
Oh yeah. But I'm
pissed now. No, this is a 1.
Fair. I mean, it's nothing special.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we kept it short and simple on that end.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, literally.
Knights and Satan's Service. Wait, those aren't the same thing.
Alrighty. So that's the album artwork, and we'll be right back with the track list. All right, and we're back with the track list breakdown of the episode. I don't really know if we are going to go into too much detail on this track list until we get to the studio album, or sorry, not the studio album, but the studio songs from the album. And yeah, So we'll just kind of barrel through these and we'll see what happens. So we got track number 1, Detroit Rock City. I already covered who wrote these songs in
right. Yeah, there's really no reason to go over it again.
So yeah, track number 1, Detroit Rock City. I think it benefits of being the opening song. This is also where you get the difference between Alive 1 and Alive 2 and the way that they're pronounced, because the first one says the hottest band in the land. And at this point, I think it's pretty cool that they say the hottest band in the world. Yeah. Because it's quite literally true, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a neat little touch that they put on this record. And Detroit Rock City is actually a really awesome song to start with. Like, if it's not going to be Deuce, Detroit Rock City is right there with it, because that intro, the band, because it just builds up. You know?
And I think out of all the times I've seen them, they've only not opened with Deuce once. In the time they didn't, they used this song.
Yeah, and this was this in when we saw them in August?
I think so. Yeah,
I was gonna say, because I remember I was like, wait, they're not opening with Deuce?
Yeah, so. It's weird, but good Lord, is this track sped up?
Oh yeah, like super fast. Good performance overall. Granted, I don't know, like I'm almost 95% sure a lot of these songs were overdubbed and stuff, just like, you know, Alive 1 was. But the drum tracks definitely most likely stayed the same. You know, it's just obviously that pure energy when you're on stage that just kicks in and you're going fast. But I really like this version of the song. I do. Obviously we talked about that long ass intro on Destroyer.
Right.
Obviously that's not in here because it's live. So that benefits from it. But I don't know, anything else you guys got to say about this?
I kind of like how at the end, instead of having the car crash sound effect, it sounds like Peter hits a like China cymbal to emulate that sort of sound, but keep it short.
Yeah, and then it just transfers straight into King of the Nighttime World.
Yeah, and like it was a cool idea. Like, don't get me wrong, I get definitely why they did it. I think it worked well.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. You have anything to say?
No, actually, you guys pretty much covered it. I just want to go back straight into King of the Nighttime World here, because
we'll segue straight into that. Go ahead.
Holy shit! You think Detroit Rock City was sped up? Those drums.
Oh wow! King of the Nighttime. Yeah, it just sounds like a fucking train going on the railroad, just fast as fuck. Yeah, man. The transition from Detroit Rock City straight into King of the Nighttime World, really, they did it really well on the album, and they did it just as well on the live album. Yeah. Which I'm really glad that those two were like partnered. You know what I'm saying? I will say they didn't go into King of the Nighttime World when we saw them, did they?
I don't think they've played that song in a while, honestly.
And I don't think they did, unfortunately.
Because the last time, I don't think I've ever seen them play that song live.
Really?
I don't think so. The last time that I know for sure they played it was Symphony.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think they have played it like in between Symphony and now.
If I had to guess, probably.
But there's
I don't have concrete evidence that they did.
They did not play it when we.
They did not.
They did not.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but yeah. So. But yeah, Ladies Room, track number 3. Don't have much to say about this. I really liked it on Rock and Roll Over. I like it on this because it's got that, you know, crowd noise and makes you feel like you're there. But other than that, just not much to say about it, you know. We got track number 4, Making Love. And I do kind of want to talk about this one because I fucking love this performance of Making Love. This is one of my favorite live performances of a song because they sound so cohesive and like they're all clicking at the right time. And Ace's solo in this song, he just goes at it, obviously, but there's this part in his solo more towards the end where he gets really high up on the guitar neck. And when he's picking it, it's almost like squeaks. It's weird. Instead of actual like notes that you can hear, it's almost like you can still hear the note and like the pitch of the note, but it's like bing, 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 bing. It sounds so weird and so totally crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I wish that kind of came through on the studio version a little bit more, but I'm glad we at least have that on the Making Love, because it just sounds like it's just a tonal quality that hits your ears and you're like, it's kind of harsh at first, but you're like, damn, that sounded kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my opinion on this song, at least the live version. So,
which I do like on the record, the inclusion of the acoustic guitar, which becomes almost inoperable live.
yeah.
So, I mean, I get why it's not here.
Right.
I do like the difference, though, in it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Granted, I love this version of the song.
Yeah, same. This sounds like, because like you said, the studio version has that acoustic guitar that kind of comes in on the choruses, or like the pre-chorus, I guess you could say. And man, I think it just sounds like, for live purpose, it just sounds way better without an acoustic guitar. So I'm glad they didn't overdub that in any way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really got much to say, honestly.
I thought you were gonna say something, so I was like,
I mean, so far this track list is still great. Like, it's still a solid live album. It's just not my favorite.
really?
Fair.
All right, track number 5, Love Gun. Don't really have much to say about this. I do like it. This one's super sped up too. Holy shit. And Paul's vocals on this whole album are really solid. But man, I just, one of my biggest gripe with the studio version of this song was the fact that they do the chorus over Ace's solo, and or like he's doing love gun. He does that over the solo in the studio version, and then they do it on this version too. Which, if you go to like Kiss, if you go to Symphony, Alive 4, he doesn't do it over the guitar solo. And I just wish that he wasn't screaming over the guitar solo, because makes it a little bit harder to hear the guitar solo. You know what I mean? Granted, on this album, the guitar solo is mixed a little bit louder than what the studio version was, so that's a redeeming quality of it. But other than that, I just don't really have anything else to say about it.
I still think it's an overplayed song at this point now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I love this song. I don't know why, for some reason on this album, this is just kind of where they start to lose my attention.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, it's really weird, because like all of these songs sound really similar on this album, which is good in the sense of like, oh, you want songs on an album to have like a cohesiveness to it, but like they're all super like fast paced, and like,
yeah, it just kind of feels like they blend too much.
Exactly. I guess we could go to track number 6, Calling Dr. Love, which I love this song, studio version and live version as well. I really love this on this album, because it's the same, but I feel like it just has a little bit more energy, obviously, because it's live, but still, like, it's just, the guitar solo sounds a little bit better in my opinion on this one. But don't really have anything else to say, so go to track number 7, Christine 16, a track that we've talked about before, which has aged very poorly. And so we won't spend too much time on that. Track number 8, Shock Me, which is a fucking awesome song and probably one of my favorite songs off this album.
Yeah, first and one of the only times you hear Ace sing live on a Kiss record.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Because he does this, he does 2000 Man on Unplugged.
Yeah.
He adds a little bit in
Rock and Roll
Night. Yep. And then he does Into the Void on the Millennium concert.
Yep.
I don't think until we get the Off the Soundboard from Tokyo, I think that's it.
Yeah. Wow. Which even then he may have only done Into the Void on that farewell tour. Who knows?
At that point, I can't imagine they wouldn't have been doing Shock Me.
Right.
But I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, the guitar solo in this, killer. His vocal performance is awesome, which I'm pretty sure was overdubbed. And then the ending guitar solo on this, where he actually goes into his guitar solo where it's just him, you know, sounds pretty awesome. I still love the live version more, I think. And yeah, so that's pretty much it on Shock Me. Then we got track number 9, Hard Luck Woman, which I do want to say real quick. It says, so this is just from Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. But it says that tracks 9 and 10, so that would be the next 2 that we're about to cover. So Hard Luck Woman was recorded at Capitol Theater in New Jersey. Or it was either recorded at Capitol Theater in New Jersey or Electric Lady Studios in New York. And there's like we had kind of talked that some of these had been recorded in a warehouse or something that Paul said. Or...
Right. And because I think I was mixing the 2 stories of Gene saying they were done at sound check and then Paul mentioning the fireworks or the pyro and stuff.
Right.
So I think I was mixing those 2 stories on accident.
No, you're all good. Which that's the thing is like, who even really knows? Like it could have been one of those 3 places or whatever, but this is one of the songs that was definitely not recorded during the shows at the Forum in August of 77. So I like this song. I mean, we talked about it on Rock and Roll Over a lot, and it's just it's not like a crazy, super hard rock song or anything. This is kind of a little bit of a not slow song, but
it's a
slower song than what we are used to on this album, on this specific live album. So, well, you got anything else to say, Bo?
No, actually, you just took my words. So.
Sorry. I'm glad we get to hear Peter's vocals, because anytime you get to hear Peter's vocals, it's usually a good time. So, and I like this song, so I'm glad they included it. Let's see here. Track number 10, Tomorrow and Tonight, which is the same story as Hard Luck Woman, as it possibly being recorded as somewhere else. Definitely was not recorded at the Forum shows, even if Spotify says it is. And then
yeah, you freaking liar.
Right. Don't really have anything to say about this. I think it benefits a little bit from it being live, because it gives it more of that rock and roll night party type feel.
I agree. And like, as forgettable as I feel like this song is in the grand mix of their songs, I feel like it helps elevate it a little bit, but it's still just kind of there.
Right.
Like you look at a bunch of the other songs on this record and you go, oh, I love those songs. And then you look at that one and go,
yeah,
that exists.
Yeah, literally that exists. So yeah, that's track number 10. And then track number 11, I Stole Your Love, which love this song on Love Gun. And I think I kind of honestly, would have been cool to hear this open up this album if it wasn't Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good pick for an opener also.
And so, yeah, nothing really else to say, but I think Paul's vocal performance on this is really good. This is one of my favorite parts about this song live, and they both nail the solos, because obviously Paul does the first, Ace does the second. Go on to track number 12, Beth, which was actually recorded at, I want to say, it was recorded at Budokan Hall in Tokyo, Japan on that April 2nd, 1977 show that we were talking about, that they were originally planning for, a Live 2 to be released or like to be recorded at and everything. So really interesting that they kept that song from that. I'm guessing they probably just did a one-off of them performing it live and didn't really do it much after that. Or I mean, not a one-off, but they didn't play this song a lot probably during the Love Gun tour, so that's probably why they took it from the Budokan show.
See, this song, I would have loved to have seen it like towards the end.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Their encores.
Really?
Because like it's a perfect way to transition into an encore.
I could see that. Which, I mean, it is technically for the live portion of this. There's only 3 songs after this, but I still feel like the track listing is a little bit weird on this album. Mm-hmm. But I definitely get what you're saying. And they did the backing track, so it's not like them playing acoustic guitars live or anything like that. It's a backing track, so that kind of takes away from it a little bit for the live purpose, because I know they're playing to a backing track.
Well, and don't they also cut the middle portion of the song where it's just the strings.
I feel like they do. I feel like you told me about that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they cut that, so it just goes from like verse to verse.
Right.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
So
It takes away from the song.
right. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Track number 13, God of Thunder. Definitely one of the ones that benefits the most.
Voice
from
crack
this.
and all.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've caught that Gene has a voice crack in there.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, it's when they come back from the guitar solo where they would put the effect on his voice.
Oh, yeah.
And it's when he does the I.
Yeah.
He kind of goes, I.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But speaking of the solos and whatnot, yes, there's a drum solo in this from Peter, and there's a fucking guitar solo from Ace.
That exists?
That exists on God of Thunder.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who knew?
If you haven't listened to our Destroyer episode, we don't relentlessly shit on this song, but we talk about how you just can't hear any of the guitar solo on the studio version of this track. So,
Yeah, it's just the way they decided to mix it with kind of like the ambiance of it is just
yeah.
It just
For the
doesn't-
album, it's like, okay, whatever. But
Right.
I'm glad they didn't do that type of shit for the live version because
right.
Ace comes out and fucking busts out a killer solo. He keeps some parts of the original, but man, he definitely puts a little bit of Ace into it. So, and it's one of my favorite guitar solos from him, live at least. So, all right, track number 14, I Want You, which is another track from the Budokan show, which I thought was interesting. So maybe they didn't play this song as much on the Love Gun tour. And so they decided to take that one from the Budokan show. And then, not really much to say about this. You know, it's still heavy rock right in your face. You know?
I liked it. It's okay. I mean, of course, I love the song, but like,
yeah. And actually, I think when Paul performed this live, he has the double neck, right? The double neck guitar or the double guitar. I can't remember what it's called, where it's like up top, it's like a 12 string. And then below it's the,
right.
just regular 6 string.
I think so. Cause I think that's how they got the sort of
Intro.
acoustic intro to it.
Right.
But,
so that's pretty cool. And then track number 15 to basically wrap it all up on the live side of things is Shout It Out Loud. Great song. Awesome. I think this is a great version of it because it gives you that, like how Rock and Roll All Night had its live version. This is the live version of Shout It Out Loud.
yeah.
And
I think it was the right song to end on.
yes, exactly. Which we had talked about, I think that Destroyer episode of when we were talking about Shout It Out Loud would have been really cool to like hear or go see them and have them close out with this song instead of Rock and Roll All Night. And we kind of get it here on a live too. So yeah, that wraps up the live side of things. And then tracks 16 through 20, like we already covered, are studio tracks, which on Spotify it says like most of them are recorded at Capitol Theater, live at Capitol Theater. So they're trying to keep the whole, it's live, but they're very clearly studio tracks.
Right. Which, I mean, they've never been dishonest in trying to like hide that. They've always been open that these were studio tracks.
Exactly. It's just weird that Spotify listed live at Capitol Theater. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that.
All right. And yeah, so track number 16, All American Man, written by Paul Stanley and Sean Delaney.
And this one was actually written for Rock and Roll Over.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm. It was one of the songs that they wrote together for that album that
makes sense.
Whatever reason just didn't make the cut.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got that. Anything you guys want to say about it?
I like it.
I like this song a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily going to be one I pick of, best Kiss song, go. But, it's a fun addition, and I think it would have fit well on Rock and Roll Over.
Right.
But
maybe take Baby Driver out of there and put this on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know Peter had to sing a song, which, I mean, he sings 2 on there, right?
Yeah, because Hard Luck Woman and Baby Driver.
But interesting. Anything else you want to say, Bo? No.
I mean, fair.
I really don't have an opinion on most of this album to begin with.
Fair. All good. Track number 17, Rockin' in the USA, written by Gene Simmons, which, I mean, the title is very clearly ripped off of Rockin' in the USSR, or is it Back in the USSR?
Back in the USSR by the Beatles, yeah. Which they actually have, I mean, granted, it's a printed picture, but they have a picture in Behind the Mask of Gene's handwritten lyrics for this song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's that, and then, well, there is a song called Rockin' in the USA, but I can't remember what his name is. Rockin' in the USA. Like, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
What's weird is you do that, and I wanna say I know it, but it's like I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it. Right.
It's something like my grandma would always listen to.
Whoa, careful there.
That's not a knock on Grandma. We love Grandma. It's
a fun song.
He's making the point that it's
All right. So sorry about that. We just went on a little tangent about trying to figure out what song this reminds us of in the sense of like the title. But which honestly, I don't know when that it's ROCK in the USA by John Mellencamp, and I don't know when that would have came out, but pretty much the same, title.
Right. Which, if I had to guess, it was probably more a draw off of Back in the USSR because they are, of course, Beatles fans.
Exactly.
But I don't know. Again, it's another one I like.
Yeah.
For me, it's a redeeming quality to this album.
Right. Yeah, not much else to say about that. I don't know if I already stated it, but that is written by Gene Simmons. And then Larger Than Life, track number 18, also written by Gene Simmons. I actually really like this song. I'm not gonna lie.
I love this song. I don't know why.
The lyrics are so fucking stupid.
My giant cock.
Literally.
Oh, well, it makes sense that Bob played on this one.
He's like, my giant cock too. But yeah, Larger Than Life. It's basically just about his dick being larger than life. Yeah. So
wish I could say that. But I love the guitar riff at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a simple riff, and I will say again, like I said, I'm not trying to say Bob's a bad guitar player. I love the leads on this song.
Yeah.
They sound fantastic.
Exactly. And it just goes to show that Bob's a good guitar player, So
he's just not as good as he thinks he is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Larger Than Life is it's a really good song. It's one of my favorite songs off this record.
Right. It's just not Larger Than Life. So.
Right.
All right, sorry. I had to do the pun that time. Beat Bo to the punch. Anyways, going on before he can say anything. Track number 19, Rocket Ride, written by Ace Frehley and Sean Delaney, which I thought was pretty cool that Ace and Sean had a writing credit together.
Yeah.
Great song. My favorite song on not the whole album, but with like the live songs included, but definitely my favorite of the studio songs.
Yeah, same.
And then, I mean, killer guitar riff, a lot of phaser and flanger on this shit.
Which this song was actually meant, and because they have this weird narrative that they've kind of built where they went and did the solo albums as an effort to get away from each other.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason that Ace didn't have anything on Rock and Roll Over was because he'd already started material for the solo albums because they had already had them built into their contract.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it probably was part of the reason that they went and did them when they did was to get away from each other. But this song was written for Ace's solo album. Yeah. And Gene and Paul asked him like, hey, we just did Love Gun. We're pumping these out. Do you have one we can throw on here? Because we don't have any more right now. We're struggling to come up with another one.
Right.
And so he threw him this one.
Yeah. Which, I mean, what a great song. And actually, I was looking at it on Spotify. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick. It is the second most listened to song on this album.
Really?
Yep. Let me see here. So we got Detroit Rock City with about 1.5 million plays. And then Keep Going. And Shout It Out Loud has 1.7. And Rocket Ride has 1.7.
Damn.
So, which makes sense because the only way to listen to Rocket Ride is to go
on
to
this album. Yeah.
But yeah, it has 1.7. So it's actually right below shouted out loud and more than Detroit Rock City. Granted, Spotify plays aren't the end all be all, but it just goes to show you how popular this song is.
Oh, yeah. The fact that Rockin' in the USA has almost as few plays as the last song kind of makes me sad. Because why the fuck did anyone listen to that song?
Right. So yeah, Rocket Ride, great song. Goes to show, it kind of gives you a taste of what's going to come on his solo album, in my opinion, which is obviously makes sense because he wrote it for his solo album and basically just put it on here. So great solo, has a lot of acisms in there that we've talked about. All right. And track number 20, the one we've all been waiting for, Any Way You Want It, which was originally written by Dave Clark and performed by Dave Clark 5. Is that what they were called?
Journey. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was the Dave Clark 5.
Gotcha. God damn it. I was like, wait, Journey? And I was like, oh,
yeah, because I wish I was joking. Every time I see this, that's what I think of. Yeah.
And you know, it's sad because this fucking song is garbage. It's
not good.
It is.
It just does.
So
it
bad.
did not come out well.
No,
and like I get Gene and Paul were fans of the original, and that's why they covered it.
Mm-hmm.
They themselves even admit, like, nope.
God, man.
It did not come out well.
They could have taken this song and put a different live song on there, and it'd have been way better.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe something from. Maybe like
they could have done.
Do You Love Me? I'm so mad that Do You Love Me is not on here.
Yeah,
it kind of irritates me
a little bit.
Like I don't know. Anyways, before we get into that whole rabbit hole of songs that we wish were on
they
here.
fixed that on Unplugged, by the way. Okay.
On Unplugged and
Symphony.
Symphony. Cool. Well, that's the track list. Yeah, just Any Way You Want It. That's not. Yeah.
Any Way You Want It. Get the fuck out of my playlist.
Literally. Any Way We Want It. Okay, take it off the fucking album then.
Yeah. You dumb bitch.
Shit. All right. Well, yeah. So that's the track list. Not much to really break down there. Sorry if this is a boring episode for you guys, but there's just not much, but we got to cover it. So, all right. With that being said, we're just going to go ahead and transition into our 3-in-1. So we'll be right back. Alrighty. And we're back. With our 3-in-1 segment, and the more we talked about it during the break, we think we're just going to go ahead and do the 3-in-1, picking 3 songs that we like, one that we don't like, or one that we want to discard from the live section of this album, and then we're going to do a 1-in-1 on the studio tracks, the 5 studio tracks. So we pick one that we really like, and then pick one that we don't like, which I mean, can probably guess which ones those are going to be. Or we can do a 2-in-1. How about that? A 2-in-1.
That's fair. I mean,
whatever.
I'm not gonna say no.
Right. So, all right, Bo. Of the live songs, what are your 3 that you think either benefit from it being live, played live, or just what you like the most?
Well, God of Thunder's my number 1. Making Love, and then I'm gonna put I Want You in there.
Okay. What about you, Ty?
I agree. I think God of Thunder is the song that I think A is fantastic, B benefits the most from it.
Right.
I think I'm doing Detroit Rock City just because I like that it cuts out that minute-and-a-half intro sequence and just gets straight to the punch.
Right.
And then only because I feel it benefits so much from this version, Tomorrow and Tonight.
Really?
Just because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not one I feel like I ever feel the need to put on.
Uh-huh.
I just feel like this live version is so much better than the record version that I feel like I'd be remiss not to mention it.
I agree.
Then I'm actually doing Beth as my discard.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I never did a discard.
It's all good.
I didn't even notice, honestly. I don't know how I missed that.
So you said Beth as your discard?
Yeah, it just the way they cut the string section in the middle, which I could be flat talking out my ass, who knows, but I'm pretty sure they cut that out.
The way that I look at it is the fact that you think of it and you're like, I'm pretty sure they do, or you don't know for sure. It just goes to show that this is truly the song that you just don't care about on this album,
Yeah.
So,
and I hate to say that because, I mean, as much as we mentioned, I have my problems with Beth. Mostly I'm tired of fucking hearing it.
Right.
It's a good song.
Yeah. All right, but what was your discard?
Probably Beth also.
All right. I think my top 3 are definitely God of Thunder at number 1, just because you actually get a guitar solo, a nice little drum solo in there too. 2, I'm gonna go Making Love, and then 3, I would say Tomorrow and Tonight, because like you said, it definitely benefits it from being live. I was actually probably gonna go with Shock Me, but the only difference between the Shock Me version is that it has a guitar solo in there at the end, really, for me.
Right.
It has a little bit of energy, but Tomorrow and Tonight I think it benefits the most from being live. And then my discard is probably going to have to be Beth as well, just because it's a backing track, same reasons you pointed out. So, yeah. But I guess we go ahead and do the 2 and 1. Bo, what do you think? 2 songs off the studio songs off this album.
Rocket Ride and All American Man.
All right. What about you, Ty?
Interesting. I'm going Rocket Ride and Larger Than Life.
Yep. I'm going Rocket Ride and Larger Than Life too. 1 discard.
Larger Than Life. No. Obviously, any way you want it.
Yeah.
And
I think you spoke for the table.
Yeah. It's just a bad one. And once again, it's like, why do you guys why do they do covers? Their covers are not good, except for like maybe Kissin' Time. Like that wasn't awful.
It was okay. I think their best cover is Hide Your Heart, which is way later down the line.
Right. All right. That's pretty much it for the 3 and 1. We're just gonna go straight into the certified rating. Bo, out of 10, what are you gonna give this?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Wow. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Ty.
I agree. I'm going 6 too. Yeah.
Really? All right. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna give it a 6 too. Just 1 because 666. But just it just like we talked about, it blends too well for me.
And that's the main reason I give it a 6 is just because like it loses me.
Yeah.
In there.
It's like it's almost like halfway through you're like, I feel like I've been listening to one continuous song.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, it's still a good album. Just not the best. I mean, 6 is good. It's better than average. So
yeah,
a little bit better than average. So I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about this album. I know we've been wanting to just get this album out of the way, or get this episode out of the way, so we get to like Phantom of the Park and
oh boy,
yeah, and the solo albums and Dynasty, and then we get into their 80s stuff, which that's gonna be a fucking trip.
Oh man.
But, yeah. Thanks for sticking around if you guys are still listening, because I feel bad. This was a little bit of a miss of an episode. I mean, we're getting back into it. We had to, shake off the rust. So
I mean, you're only as good as what you're given to work with.
Exactly.
So I mean, is it really our fault?
Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. So if you guys haven't, go ahead and check out the previous episodes. Our most recent episode, Love Gun, is up. So go listen to that. And then also go and listen to, just go and listen to every episode, please. Honestly.
Like 7 times.
Yeah, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times. Show it to your friends. If you have any Kiss fans that you like or that you talk to, go ahead and talk to them. Let them know about this. And then
if you have people that aren't Kiss fans that you hate, show them this too.
Right. Anybody, please. That being said, we appreciate you guys listening. For Ty, for Bo, for myself, as always, we hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time. See you guys.